Morning everyone, this is Ron with Ron's Trusted Transport Service. Just want to do a quick video on things you should be looking for when heading out on the road for a long drive. I'm here in Miami, Florida, picking up this Penske truck for a client. I'm gonna take it up to just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, about a 19-hour trip. So of course we want to make sure that everything with the vehicle is safe to go, and will ensure the client's property gets there safely, and that most importantly I get there safe as well. So taking a look at the vehicle from the start, I like to do a walk-up visual. Anything I'm looking for is anything obvious. You know, things like, are the tires low? Do you see a puddle of fluid underneath the vehicle, which could indicate there's a oil leak or a coolant leak, something like that. That'll have you in a bind pretty quick and mess up your trip for sure. So walking up, like I said, just want to check to see anything obvious. If the vehicle's been sitting for a while, you'll be able to tell. And then I like to just make sure I check out all the fluids, make sure everything is good to go. Okay, looking under the hood, we just want to check, make sure your fluids are topped off, everything's kind of tight so nothing's going to come up. You want to look for anything in the engine. Sometimes, you know, in colder climates and stuff, you might find a cat or something like that in there. These moving trucks have pretty tight engine compartments, so you just kind of get in there as best you can and look. You definitely want to check the belts, make sure they're not frayed, too loose. Want to make sure they have some kind of tightness, no slack to them. Try to look at your battery terminals, cables, make sure there's no corrosion. This all looks pretty good. Penske does a fine job of making sure their vehicles are well maintained. Of course, you want to check the oil levels, transmission fluid levels. I will check that here in a minute, just for video's sake, time's sake. I won't pull them out and wipe them off for you. So anyways, under the hood looks good. We're gonna move to the inside of the vehicle, turn on the lights, check for brakes, things like that, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, now we're on the inside of the truck. A few quick things I like to do. Turn the key over. Make sure your instrument dash gauges light up. Everything seems to be working. That flickering is just from the video. It's not actually flickering on the dash. Everything looks good. Got a full tank. We'll go ahead and turn her over and see how it sounds. Now, after I turn the engine over, I'm just listening for any kind of tapping, knocking in the engine, anything that doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right. If the vehicle is, you know, bouncing all around, you haven't even moved or anything like that, it could be an indication that something's going on. But so far we're looking all right. Everything seems to be sitting normal. So I'm gonna turn the lights on and do a quick walk around, checking out the lights. Want to make sure you got your headlights working, brights working, flashers working, your blinkers, of course, brakes, marker lights if there are any, and then we'll be ready to hit the road. All right, back outside, checking out the lights. See, we got our brights on right now and our regular running lights. We'll turn our brights off once we start driving. We're just checking them out to make sure they work, make sure they're functioning. Seems to be good on the lights. We'll hit some blinkers, see how they do. We'll check the front and back, driver and passenger side. So we got a driver side front blinker going. Moving to the rear, you see a driver's side rear flashing. So we'll just go move to the driver's side, or sorry, the passenger side. So we got a passenger side front blinker going. Walking around to the rear of the vehicle. You see there's a passenger side blinker going. Okay, so we'll hit our four ways, our flashers, caution lights, whatever you like to call them, and see how we're going. Usually the caution lights are situated, they're gonna be right here, but sometimes they may be on the dash, maybe by the radio. It'll always have a red triangle. Alright, back to the front of the vehicle. So you got your flashers on, both working. Rear flashers working. Okay. Another thing here, I always want to check, make sure that license plate light is working. That's something that gets you pulled over. You don't want any unnecessary stops. Everything seems locked. Everything's good to go here. Hitch secure, ball secure. All right. We'll move into the vehicle one last time just to get our trip started. Just a couple of last minute things I'd look for on the inside. Okay, so the outside of the vehicle is good to go. We know that it's safe to drive, safe to start operating, taking it down the road. So while I'm here in the vehicle, I just like to just double check, make sure everything is going to be comfortable for me to drive inside. You know, of course, you don't want a dirty vehicle. You want good visibility out the windshield. Definitely want to make sure your mirrors are adjusted properly. You want to be able to see down the side of the vehicle, but still pushed out enough to where you see any blind spots. I'm going to actually adjust that mirror. It's showing a little too much of the truck for me. I'd like to get a little more of the road. I've yet to adjust anything, so there's kind of just how they're sitting right now. That one I could probably live with. But also in here, it's like check the steering. Make sure it's good. It's not real loose. It goes back to its original spot. You don't want something where it's turning all the way around and it feels real loose, real squirrely. That's definitely going to cause you some problems. Checking the brakes. I like to just make sure that you got good compression. That you don't have to push too hard down, or it's not coming back. It's going to cause you problems later on. Of course, that's the accelerator. You hear the engine go a little bit. Seems to be fine. That is going to be your parking brake. You would just step on it, set it, and then a little handle right here to release. So we know the lights work. We'll flip them to auto so they shut off when we get out of the vehicle. Let's check the windshield wiper fluid. Wipers work. I think we're good to go. I'm sure the radio works. AC is blowing good. So that's about it. Anyways, I just wanted to give this video, give some tips for any drivers out there looking to make a move by themselves, whether it's a couple miles across town or a couple thousand miles across the country. So I always want to make sure that your vehicle is going to get you there safely. That's the number one thing, is getting you there safely, getting your property, your family there safely. And then if it is a rental truck, you want to make sure that you're returning it in the way that you got it. That way you're not getting hit with any fees, things like that. I do recommend doing a walk around of your rental truck ahead of time and making a video showing any damages that are on the vehicle. Make good notation of that just for your record to cover your butt in case the company tries to come after you and say that you caused damage that was already there. Most phones nowadays have a geo stamp or whatever on the picture. You can go into your settings to adjust it. I like to have that on my phone. That way I could always go to a picture and say, no, this picture was taken at this time, this date, this location, and you know, wouldn't be no issues. Thankfully, I haven't had any issues. I always very selective with my clients who I choose to drive for, and I will go over that in a later video, because it does make a difference. You want to go with clients that you're not going to get a hassle with, hard time with. But anyways, hope this video helped, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Continue to look out for us, and we'll look out for you.